In this video, I'm going to tell you why I hated Bakugo in the beginning, and why by season 6 and further into the manga, he's become one of my favorites. So let me start at the beginning. I couldn't stand Bakugo in the beginning. I thought he was mean and, well, actually he was pretty mean, and he was stuck up, especially all the time putting Deku down, especially in the flashbacks.
Listen up, Deku! You're even worse than the rest of these damn rejects, you quirkless wannabe!
I thought to myself, this kid is enrolling in UA? He wants to be a superhero? He'd be better fit as a villain. I'm getting a little ahead of myself there. We'll get back to that. When he faced Deku for the first time in the training in the building, I thought the same thing Kirishima thought. These two were going to murder each other. I was blaming Bakugo for that. He couldn't stand that Deku had powers now, and he was just acting like a jerk. Not to mention, he was always talking about murdering people. What kind of superhero goes around talking about murdering people?
Shut the hell up before I kill you!
This was a guy that should be a villain. And then he got captured by villains. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So, in season 1, I was definitely not Team Bakugo. He was arrogant, annoying, always angry at everyone. I didn't like him. But when season 2 rolled around, that's when we got to the sports festival. This was when my first inklings about Bakugo kind of changed, and I thought, maybe he's not so bad after all. It was a combination of a couple of things. First, it was Bakugo's careless attitude toward even remembering his classmate's name. This gets a chuckle out of me every time, especially when he calls Todoroki icy hot.
Hey, dumb hair.
My name is Kirishima!
Elbow guy! Paper miss! Raccoon eyes! You don't even know that, spark plug!
Whether it's purposely not remembering their names or just not giving a damn, let's be honest, it's probably that one. It always gets a laugh out of me. During the sports festival is also when I started coming around to Bakugo's use of casually telling people he's going to kill them or murder them. Before I thought it was pretty stupid. What kind of hero says that, right? And then this happened.
He'll focus his energy on counterattacking.
And now you die.
Though Uraraka put up a pretty good fight, all things considered, the initial "and now you die" made me laugh. It finally dawned on me in that moment that he wasn't really talking about actually murdering people. Well, maybe he was, but mostly I took it as him wanting to basically demolish his opponents in every single way, figuratively speaking.
Before we take down Deku, we're gonna kill every last one of these B-list idiots!
When the sports festival ended, Bakugo had started to groan on me. And his reaction to All Might awarding him with the medal, that just made me laugh too. Maybe this guy wasn't so bad after all.
Man, Bakugo, pull yourself together.
All Might. Winning first place this way doesn't prove that I'm the best one here! Even if the world considers me the winner, I refuse to accept it like this!
Then we get to season 3, and we get the students training and having to fight the League of Villains once again. This battle leads to 3 impactful moments for me when it comes to Bakugo. The first is when he was captured. When I saw that the League of Villains were trying to capture and kidnap Bakugo, my immediate thought was, oh wow, this is going to be a turning point for Bakugo and Midoriya. They're going to be setting these characters up as hero and villain rivals for a long time. And while they are rivals, it's not hero versus villain. And the first inkling of this was when they first captured him, and Midoriya tries to stop them, and Deku whispers for him to stop, to stay back.
Stay back, Deku!
This very small moment told me that no matter how rude or how much of a jerk Bakugo was, he did care about Izuku, and he was his friend. The second moment was when Eraserhead was addressing the media about Bakugo's kidnapping. His adamant belief in Bakugo's determination that he'd be okay told me more about Bakugo. His teacher really believed in him, even though he was a jerk, even though he told everyone off and he told everyone that he was going to kill them. This tenacity that Bakugo had was what was going to save him and keep him from turning into a villain. Finally, in this season, when we get all the heroes trying to save Bakugo and Izuku and everyone else trying to save him also, we get the major showdown of All Might versus All for One. This is an awesome battle, but aside from that, what we also got was Bakugo facing Midoriya again later on. Only this time, he calls Izuku out for having All Might's power. He's figured it out. he knows the secret. But more than that, during this fight, we realize Bakugo feels responsible for what happened to All Might in the fight against All For One. He feels like if he wouldn't have gotten kidnapped, All Might would still be okay. Of course, we know that's not the truth, and All Might explains it to him, but what it shows is Bakugo's sympathy, his empathy, and the guilt he's feeling. I really started rooting for him once this part was shown, and we saw more of his character traits.
But now you know I'm weak too. I always wanted to be like you, which meant being as strong as possible. But look what I did to you. Because I'm not good enough.
This is not your fault, young Bakugo. I was always going to lose my power.
Also, it'd be wrong of me if I didn't give an honorable mention to Bakugo's time as an intern with Best Jeanist. I thought it was funny, and maybe it would just be a one-off gag, but we come back to it later in the series when Bakugo picks his name. It's a nice touch. So far, all of these points I've mentioned are what turned me from thinking Bakugo was a massive tool to thinking he was relentless and would stop at nothing to becoming the #1 hero. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention 3 other moments. The first is a school festival. I really enjoyed the first half of this season. I thought it was one of the better, stronger seasons so far. But when we get to the school festival, it kind of felt like the season failed to stick the landing. All that aside, we get a nice character moment for Bakugo. Class 1A is putting on a musical spectacle, and Bakugo is the drummer. Yeah, you heard me right, Bakugo is the drummer, and of course, he leads with that opening line.
Get ready, UA. Our sound is gonna kill you!
That was it. When he said that, I was like, yeah, okay, I like this dude. Finally, the cherry on top was in Season 5 when Bakugo led his team from Class 1A when they were facing Class 1B to a flawless victory. It wasn't so much that it was a flawless victory, but it was his leadership skills, as rude as he could be. He didn't care about his teammates' names, but he did care about protecting them.
Whenever you guys are in danger, I'll protect you.
As I said in the beginning, I've gone past the anime now, and I am reading the manga, but I'm not all the way to the very end. I'm up to about chapters 328 or 330, I believe, and this is a spoiler alert right now. So if you haven't read the manga and you're only watching the anime, careful with what I say right now, because I am going to get into one more thing that I think really seals the deal for me on why I like Bakugo, and he's become one of my faves. So again, spoiler alerts abound right here if you've only watched the anime and haven't read the manga. So in the manga, Deku is out there fighting against all the villains who've escaped. He's embracing One For All and growing stronger as the days pass. As he's growing stronger, he's learning to control his powers, and he's getting help from the holders of One For All from the past. But all that matters to Deku is catching Shigaraki and All For One. He's forgoing everything else. He's turning on everyone else, even though he doesn't really realize it. He's basically turning into a monster with only one drive, as we see in the pages of the manga. This is when his friends at UA step in and battle him. Battle him to stop him from hurting himself, basically. And who else but Bakugo finally tries to get through to him. When Bakugo finally stands in front of Deku and tells him why he needs to stop, and gives him the real reasons of why he's been the way he has all the years, it makes Deku stop. And it really shows the emotional connection between these two characters. He's there to help Deku, his friend, even if he tells him he wants to kill him all the time. So there you have it. That's how I went from hating Bakugo in Season 1 to actually him becoming one of my favorites now up to the furthest part that I've read in the manga. No spoilers in the comments below, please, if you read past chapter 330. I haven't finished the entire run so far that's been updated on Shonen Jump, but like I said, I am up to there, so feel free to comment on anything else. If you do want to comment on spoilers, just let me know. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed my take on this, or my art style, you'll probably like my comics. I have MADCAP Wrestling updating on Webtoons, Tapas, and its own website. Feel free to check them out in the links down below. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.